it, the electricity is not going anywhere else. So it makes a circle. So it's starting to go here, then 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 go here, and it never comes down here. So it's not giving your heart enough time to pump the blood. So if it gets to tachycardia, if it's 100, 101, it's okay, because it's still allowing the contraction of the ventricles. If it gets to 130 to 150, that's it. It's just doing that.
If they have...
And it's going to hurt. It's going to start to hurt.
Alright, so you're saying when you have tachycardia, it'll go like that, but sometimes it will go, the electricity will go, but it'll still be doing this.
Right. There's still enough time so that some of the electricity will go down and make the ventricles hard. But when it gets too fast, when it gets too fast, it just does this and never gives the electricity time to go down here.
So if that happens, is it just a bunch of humps on the EKG? Does it ever get the...
So when it's tachycardia, it can be tachycardia here. So you're going to see a hump, QRS, 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 and then hump, and QRS. And that is called a run. This is a run of VTAC.
But I thought it was only here. So, but you're saying so it was so many that it causes this to pump a lot.
To fibrillate, to do these extra pumps, right?
That and then
because it's not giving it a chance. It's not giving it a chance to go down here and then come back right.
So fast up there.
So it's cutting it off here. Now you can do the atrium and you can get like 2 humps.
Oh, so it's like
and you
that
get the
one's
sawtooth.
like an Olympic
So
athlete, and the other one's like a little peewee.
So
in
it
the
depends.
This
this is flutter. This is a flutter. So if it never gets down to here, this is never contracting, so you're not going to have a QRS.
So that's when you're
So it can happen both ways?
Right, so you're above 30, and you're going to get sawtooth, which is atrial flutter, and it looks like a saw, so they're going to be like this. And then no QRS, unless it goes down and it's going to be real weak, and it's going to look like this one. And you won't be able to tell if it's a QRS or not.
So it can happen both ways.
So this one's very rare. Okay. This is very rare. The A-flutter, you'll see more AFib.
Okay.
Where AFib is more chaos, you'll have 3 to 1, and a normal QRS. And then it goes down to T, and then normal. Normal. So that's 2 to 1. And you're only supposed to have 1 to 1.
Right. Okay.
So this is AFib, and this is more common.
Okay.
Okay? And it's not, AFib means it's doing this, but you're still getting electricity down here. If you have A-flutter, that means the electricity is not going down here, and it's staying right here. And so you get the sawtooth.
And what's
so it's very rare.
That one, the one where it's 103, that's just tachycardia?
So this is VTAC. This is a run of VTAC.
Okay.
Which means that all the electricity from here, it's not staying here, it's staying down here.
Okay.
So you have to, so when you do a cardiac ablation, you make another scar. So you scar it right there so that it jumps over and goes down and then continues down. That's what ablation does.
So you can channel it by leaving scars?
Right. So you burn it. So when you do ablation, it's cauterizing. You burn it. So you burn a scar here and then it makes it jump so that it jumps around instead of staying in a vicious circle. So you cut the circle, you cut the cycle and cut it in half so that it diverts it and goes down, and then it continues down the regular heart so that it contracts, right?
So when that's happening here, does it ever relax, so you just can't see it?
You'll never see it.
But
then
will
it turns no. Then if you don't catch this on time, and we had 1 year we had somebody's patient do that. It was 2 years ago. I think Bernadette's class, somebody was doing this, and they went to go tell the monitor tech. It's like, the patient's doing, what does that mean? It's like runs of VTAC. Eventually, if you don't catch it in time, the heart's going to get so tired that it's going to start to fibrillate, and it starts doing that. And it won't look like anything. Then that's when you defibrillate. You shock them. You shock them with 200 and restart it.
So what can you do while
flatten.
it's in VTAC? You give one of those meds?
You give a med.
So
right.
you slow it down.
Right. So you cut, the medication chemically will affect the cells in here, and so it'll cut the channel, and it'll make it to where it stops it and cycles it. Oh. So what you're doing is you're making it, when you give meds chemically, the cells, you're cutting off the cells from the electricity, and it stops, and then eventually, hopefully, your heart picks up its beat again. And so it stops, so it'll go to here, then down to here, down to here, and down here, and then go back up again. Okay? So for VTAC, we have medication. Now they can have this with the heart rate, or they can have this and no heart rate. If they have this and no heart rate, you're going to shock. But if they have this, you want to do cardioversion so that you get the dots on top of the R. So it's going to shock only here. So it lets the heart do its regular atrium stuff, and then you shock, and it'll stop it, shock, it'll stop it, shock, it'll stop it, and hopefully after you stop it enough times, it'll start back on its own. That's what you hope for.
When you have a pacemaker, it'll go.
Oh, so when you have a pacemaker, you have the wires here. And the wires start to stimulate, because somewhere when you have AFib, it's stimulating, so you want to stimulate this one. And if you have a dual chamber, it'll stimulate that one. If you have single chamber, it's only stimulating the SA node. So it depends on what kind of cardiac problem you have, whether it's what it's gonna do.
So the
So if you
machine
have
will
dual
work with
chamber,
both?
right?
Okay.
Then you have the cardioverters, where have the wires here and then wires down into this
So
part of the
they
heart.
Oh, wow.
So it jump starts the heart if you